There's another meme that they share where it's a guy in a MAGA hat wearing a ribbon that says "fell for it again," who says, wait a minute, there's a mistake. I thought I was going to own the factory and be rich, as Trump pumps a shotgun and says, sew the effing socks. This is what they think about you. The American workers who work in factories or who wish their factories remained open that were outsourced to foreign countries. The example that I've been citing consistently now is the My Pillow factory. You got a bunch of workers at the My Pillow factory who love their jobs, and they're making socks and they're making pillows. And the American liberal is making fun of these people with AI generated memes, mocking the idea that Americans would want to work a job that pays well.
Well, I mean, I don't think that Americans would not want to work a job that pays well, but I do think that the idea of returning, the factory jobs. I mean, you were talking about this the other night. I don't think factory jobs on this, this type of factory jobs are coming back to the U.S.
Why not?
I mean, you were saying the other night that you don't think that they're bringing them back, these kind of jobs back here.
What specifically did I say?
I don't remember exactly what it was, but we were talking about re-onshoring jobs, and I forget who the guest was, but you were saying, no, I don't.
Gen Z is not going to do these jobs because they have ego problems.
Well, I mean, I don't think boomers
They're
would
already
either.
in the service industry, Gen Z.
I think it depends on where you're... Oh, sorry.
Well, I mean, I don't think that that's necessarily true because Gen Z is overwhelmingly in the service industry.
You think Gen Z would work factory jobs like this?
Especially if it paid better.
I think the issue with Gen Z is even if you were to work one of these jobs, your ability to buy a house, to own stocks, or any kind of wealth building doesn't exist. I mean, it has been largely wiped out. The challenge is if you're a boomer right now, and I know not all boomers are wealthy. We're here in Appalachia, but overwhelmingly boomers own homes. I think like boomers all typically own their house. They own about 60% of corporate equities, stocks, and mutual funds and things like this. Why are they going to sell it? So what happens is a Gen Z kid might get a job at this factory. Maybe it pays him $50,000, $60,000 a year. And then he says, okay, I've got some money. I want to buy some stocks. And the boomer's like, I ain't selling for that. I want more money. I don't need to sell it. I can liquidate. I'm okay. I've got my retirement. I don't need to sell to you, young man. And so that young person's like, even when I do have some leftover money, I can barely buy any stocks that move the needle. So what are they going to do? I think the issue that we have is not to say that all of Gen Z has ego problems. I think it's a spiritual problem. It's that what am I going to accomplish? Better yet, to quote The Simpsons, how are we going to catch up to the rest of the class by going slower than they are? And that's the issue. I think there's going to be let's imagine that nothing changes right now. Everything that we're doing, we keep doing. Nobody has actually, I've not seen anybody talk about the impending wealth collapse and monetary collapse of the United States when boomers transfer their houses, when they die, and millennials and older Gen Z begin to inherit these homes. The value of those homes will drop by 70% or so. It's pretty simple math. Boomers all buy houses, and some of them actually have investment properties. I know not all boomers do. I'm just saying. Like, I think it's like 90% of boomers own homes. 70-something% of Gen X owns homes. 50% of millennials own homes. And it's I think only a tiny fraction of Gen Z actually owns homes. A boomer owns, let's say they own one house. And that house is worth $700,000 because the prices are going nuts. They live in a suburban area outside of Chicago or something. They die. That house goes to their millennial kids who say, I don't want to move to the suburbs of Chicago. I moved out. I live in New York. They call an agent and say, sell the property. The agent says, okay, I'll put it on the market. Estimated value $700K. You think a millennial or a Gen Zer is going to be able to buy that? Nope. How are they going to raise $140,000 for a down payment on one of those houses? Not going to happen. So then the agent says, we can't get any offers. So they say, okay, well then lower the price. What do you think we can get for it? And like, I don't know, we'll put it at 6. No offers. 5, no offers. 4, no offers. 3, no offers. Gen Z doesn't have money to put a down payment on a house. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.